Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. If you enjoy our content, please consider donating and following our socials.
So male mysteries,
Yes.
do they or do they not exist?
I think they do, but I don't think it's what a lot of people think they are. I don't know if that's
Think,
probably pretty vague. But
well, I mean, so are the male mysteries. They're pretty vague too. Uh,
right?
I think that's part of the point, of the male mysteries. I think they're mysteries of actions of less of a degree than they are of being told.
Hmm. Yes.
Little boys figure out how to be men by being little boys and doing little boy things. You know, uh, the fighting,
Climbing
the stuff like
trees,
that, the
throwing
climbing
rocks.
trees, the competition.
Yes.
Oh God, the
The
competition
competition.
and more competition.
Mm-hmm.
Even on, even when you're on a team, there's competition on the team.
Sure there is.
There's a video I saw on YouTube, and it was the funniest joke because the guy's like, "Okay, so I was walking up to the water fountain, and my hate bro starts to walk up. I hate this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's my nemesis in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Every time I see him, it's motivation for me to work harder get bigger muscles than him."
Right.
And he's talking about it because the guy walks up to him and says, "Well, hey, it's been nice hating you
Mm-hmm.
and all this other stuff, but I'm leaving. I'm out of town." So again, it goes into this whole broke thing, this whole breakup, but,
Uh-huh.
but it's over hating each other for enough to be for competition in the gym.
Right.
This is a male mystery. All right. The fact is do they actually hate each other? No, it's more of a competition jealous thing. I don't know how to explain it without actually being jealous.
Right. It's it's a motivational thing, but
Yeah.
to some extent it's all right, I can't let this guy get bigger than me.
Right. It's sort of like you've said, like, a couple of the more favorite animes out there, Black Clover and
Mhm.
My Hero Academy.
Mhm.
Again, it's that same theme. All the boys and everybody are competing against each other to be the best,
Right.
and it's a healthy competition. We need to get back to this as men. Are you with me?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I see it where a lot of these male mysteries have sort of been made fun of over the years
Mhm.
on TV and stuff like that, and sort of told. Like the biggest one is that why the biggest butchest masculine man out there does have a soft side, but he reserves it for to be only shown to his woman who he loves, and it's not supposed to be shared outside of that.
Right.
But yet on TV, and we find out later and stuff like that, especially with the internet, women are talking about this to their girlfriends and stuff like that. And does that not make us guys sort of go, okay, this is not what I was expecting, or
Yeah, I mean it kind of
how
makes
dare
you.
you use that?
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
makes I have a feeling that it kind of makes you want to just go back inside yourself, you know.
right,
You don't want to share that part anymore because now it's no longer reserved.
right. It's now become a joke or
Right. It's
something
become a
that's
joke or it's become a topic of conversation that you didn't you didn't believe it should have been.
right. So again, is this what we're having a problem with? I mean, that's kind of like, it's kind of like, the TV shows over the years. I remember we grew up and we had what, Leave It to Beaver.
Mm-hmm.
Then suddenly we went from Leave It to Beaver to like Malcolm in the Middle, where the dads always seem like buffoons. And,
Right.
guys like to solve problems.
Yeah. Problem
That's
solvers and creating things, destroying things. It's
You know,
kind of
well,
it's kind of what we do.
I mean, as a guy, when I can't fix something, it's frustrating on multiple levels. Why in the world I can't fix it to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
I see this as a failure on my part. Again, we like fixing things. We like solving problems.
Right.
I mean, I have to admit, yes, we're pretty good at it, but we can be a little. Don't get me wrong, we can be a little bit narrow-minded to where we'll only see the problem and not necessarily anything else too. So,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you kind of get focused on it. And sometimes it's a little too much focus.
or we get a little bit too competitive. But is it we're losing that competitive? We have nowhere else to explore that anymore.
I think so. Um,
I mean,
I
I know
was,
I was just going to say because I've gotten to the point where I hate any types of sports events because they just it's people getting paid to do something I think should be done more on a local level
yeah,
instead of everybody rushing into, why aren't we out there playing? Why aren't men out there playing football? Why aren't they out there playing the baseball games every weekend?
right. I mean, what happened? What happened to playing baseball in the street? You know, or football or hockey or whatever. I mean, I remember playing those things in the streets.
Yeah.
Growing up, it's what we did. Or somebody had a large backyard, and we were able to play stuff in the backyard.
So again, I don't see us doing that anymore. I
Mm-mm.
mean, is there just not enough of us anymore? Or is it just that everybody's staying inside playing video games?
Well, it's the onslaught of the digital age, if you will. I mean, even as we get older, we spend a lot of times on our computers, in front of our TVs, on our phones, instead of out doing things. And I'm just as guilty as
True.
anybody else. So,
Or is it the fact is that all the younger generations after ours is a whole lot smaller than our generation is? Is it just there's not enough of them anymore?
I mean, I think there's
I
enough.
mean, I hate
There's
to,
enough of them to do some stuff. Sure.
I mean, because on occasion, as I'm driving around here, there's a couple of places where churches have basketball, and I see guys out there playing basketball every so often.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, I go to the park on the weekends. I don't ever see anybody just out there playing baseball. You
Right.
know,
Playing baseball or just, throwing a football or
or
doing
just
any.
again that ad hoc games like we
Yeah.
used to do.
Mm-hmm.
You just random people. If you showed up with your baseball equipment at the park, you more than likely would find a game somewhere.
Right.
But you don't see that anymore.
No, you don't. And
Because I
I
again
don't really know why, but
I don't either. But I think it's a male mystery we need to bring back. It's something we should be doing anyway.
hmm
You know, for our health, anything.
well, I think nowadays if you're gonna do something like that, it's you're gonna have to do some advertising. Unfortunately, if you're at that age and you want to go to the park and play a game, throw it out there on your social media. Hey, I'm gonna be here and da da da. I'm bringing my baseball gear.
You know,
Come
we'll
show up.
figure out
Let's play.
something when you get here.
Yeah, come show up. Let's play.
Well, I was going to say, so what should we do to encourage more interplay for guys to start being guys again, to start exploring some of the male mysteries again in their more natural habitat? What it's like to go hunting. Because I mean, a lot of people I know don't go hunting anymore. They don't know what it's like to catch your own fish and actually cook it. And
Right. Well, I think
it,
as far as that aspect goes, I think we need more adults to be more active. We need more fathers to be more active in their sons' lives. I think fathers tend. It seems like anyway that fathers are not. They're not encouraging that kind of activity because they don't do it. Does that make sense?
I'm with you.
So I think in order for us to encourage that type of activity, we need to step up. We need to take our, our nephews, our sons. We need to take them fishing. We need to teach them those things. Um, teach them how to play baseball. Teach them how to hunt. You know, I know your dad used to take you hunting with him, and he did the
Yeah.
same thing with your nephews.
Yeah.
I think that's great, and unfortunately, we just don't have enough of that nowadays.
No. Again, it's one thing. Yes, it's a whole lot different when you're out there deer hunting and you get a deer and you're having to field dress it and all
Mm-hmm.
that. And it gives you a whole lot different appreciation for what in the world all this is about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say it's coldless or callous to, kill something just to kill it, but I like the whole idea of eating what you kill.
Right.
So again, sports hunting, I'm not too happy about. So, but there is something about that, about eating your own kill, about something you grew in your own garden. There's something a little bit different
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely. I mean,
I
for me, it was fishing. Daddy wasn't a big believer in guns, so we went fishing. Daddy taught me. He taught me how to string the line and put your hook on and put your bait on, all that
right.
stuff. Taught me how to skin a fish. All that. I mean,
Well, I mean, that's just like I think everybody should be trained in guns. I mean, I also think everybody should be some form of hand-to-hand combat training growing up, but I think it's a little bit more important for guys, for confidence and at least
mm-hmm.
being able to handle bullies and people that might want to beat you up. How in the world to make sure that you get less hurt
Right. And
and what to do in those situations.
yeah, and that is definitely another aspect of that. I mean, that goes back to fighting as kids. You
Yeah.
know, um,
Well, I mean, there's one thing about fighting as kids, and another thing about fighting as an adult. I mean, there is some training that's probably best done and should be done. So,
well, there is, but my point there is that it's kind of it's pretty much innate, especially
yeah,
more so in guys. I think
yeah,
to fight.
right. Well, again, you have that whole thing of the little boys. They'll best friends suddenly get mad at each other, go outside in the backyard, duke it out, come back in, and they're like the best friends again.
Right.
You know, this
Um,
argument's settled.
right. And I think if we do teach our sons and nephews self defense and things like that, I think that helps boost confidence, and I think that's more of what we need is more
Well,
more confident men.
I'm not going to say it makes you not afraid, but it makes you a little bit less afraid
Right.
because you sort of know what's going on and what to do in case, because there's a lot of things you can do to avoid fights versus,
Right. And well, it's enough for you to know the situation and know that yeah, I'm probably going to get hurt,
yeah,
but I'll still be alive.
yeah. Well, again, I
you
mean,
know?
again, I still think this ends bullying too. So, I mean,
Well,
if kids
yeah.
know how to fight, I think it automatically ends bullying because again, that normally starts at a very young age, like
Mhm.
first grade, second grade.
Mhm.
Where in the world they don't know, and if they did, that's they use that intimidation that I'm going to beat you up because you got that one kid that's held back a year,
Mhm.
okay, and he gets to bully everybody else because he's just slightly bigger. He doesn't know how to actually fight.
Right.
But if he did, and some of the other kids, the whole situation's going to change because again,
Mhm.
the kid's not as scary now because I know how to block your moves. I know how to do this stuff.
Absolutely.
So again, with that gone, what threat is the kid? Besides just picking on you and really, do words really hurt?
Right.
What is
But
it? Sticks and stones?
right, sticks
Oh,
and stones can break my bones.
stones. But whips and chains excite me.
That's not the saying. Well, it's one of them. But I think it goes
If-
beyond the male mysteries goes beyond fighting. It goes beyond hunting, learning to shoot, learning to fish and all that other stuff. It's also about how to take care of your family.
Mhm.
How to be a man.
Right. And how to deal with that drive to want to take care of your family, to provide for your family,
Absolutely.
And I think it also teaches us that wonderful thing to where we can do that whole women and children first,
Mhm.
knowing that that means we might be giving up our lives to protect them and the next generation,
Right.
to be able to compartment, part, da, 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 help me out here.
Compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize that is a good thing sometimes. Uh,
Right. Well, and as guys, we tend to do that anyway. That lovely word, compartmentalize. We tend to do that.
yes,
But I think if we have some instruction, I don't know if you can really teach what that means or how to manage those compartments.
just because you separated away from you while you're doing the task does not mean at some point you don't have to revisit this and actually deal with those emotions and those thoughts.
Right.
I'm sure every soldier out there could tell you the same thing, and that's why a lot of them have the issues that they have.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, they've been stressed beyond their normal means, and it's something hard to deal with.
Right. It takes a toll on the body and the mind.
It really does, and unfortunately for some of these people, no, they don't know what's going to set them off or what's not.
Mhm.
But part of that mystery is sitting there learning how to deal with it, to at least learn how to try to start working through it.
Right.
I'm not going to sit there and say fix it, but at least the strength to, okay, I got to do something about this. I got to make a change.
Well, and that's another mystery for men is
Right.
knowing when to reach out for help.
Because they're so, a lot of times, because these mysteries and stuff are so vague, it's hard to tell people when to do that, when not to.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean sometimes those are just lessons learned,
Yeah.
you know, where it's something you got to do it on your own
I,
sometimes.
I would sit there and suggest, hey, guys, get together, talk about these things, experience them.
Mhm. Go back to
You
poker
know,
nights.
I,
Go back to
God
poker
forbid,
nights and
please.
and sit around and have these conversations. You know what I mean?
Have them nights where you go out fishing and bring back a mess of fish for dinner. Yeah, you might
Mhm.
be cleaning fish for the next 2 days, but hey,
Right. And if you don't bring back any fish, that's fine. Just, go and have your beers and have those conversations.
see what happens.
Right.
Speaking of beer, you want some coffee?
Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another episode. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary. Please visit us at lifetempleseminary.org for more information, as well as links to our social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning